The NFL draft is officially complete, and the UDFAs are starting to trickle in for the various team signings. Uh, the Red Kingdom Media crew breaks down the Chiefs' 4th through 7th round selections and break down some other NFL storylines behind the draft and the players that were or were not selected. All that next on Gridiron Gambit.
Welcome, Chiefs Kingdom. Thanks for tuning in to this Red Kingdom Media production, bringing you raw, authentic Chiefs coverage. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on your team. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Let's work. Hey.
Welcome to this Saturday edition of Gridiron Gambit. I'm one of the hosts that will rotate in this evening. Clinton joining me right now. This is my partner Dre, and we are going to be discussing the 4th through 7th draft picks for the Kansas City Chiefs, and also some other NFL storylines that are on your mind. And Dre, you don't even have to go into the pondering. I know what you want to talk about. You were wondering it all on Thursday, and then you were wondering it all last night. So you finally have your answer. Shedeur Sanders is officially a 5th round pick, and the Browns actually chose to take Dylan Gabriel 2 rounds ahead of him as well. So go ahead and unmute and give the people your thoughts about that move and what you think the NFL was thinking.
I think this basically was just the NFL trying to send a message to Shedeur, man, and the Sanders family as a whole, letting them know that you're not going to come in here running the show, man. I mean, if you look at the Cleveland Browns roster, they have 5 quarterbacks. I mean, you got Deshaun Watson, you got Kenny Pickett, you got Joe Flacco, you got Dylan Gabriel, and you got Shedeur Sanders. Somebody's not going to play. It's probably going to be 2 quarterbacks that's not going to play this year. Maybe they do something with Deshaun Watson. I know they restructured his deal, but the fans, they want Shedeur. They're going to want Shedeur. To me, I feel like Shedeur is the better quarterback on the roster, in my opinion. But he's got to work for it. He's going to have to earn it. Just based off of, I mean, as far as experience go, obviously you're gonna go with Deshaun Watson and Joe Flacco, but Deshaun Watson is still rehabbing, and Joe Flacco will probably go into the 2025 season as a starter for the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, man. I don't know how they're gonna play. It's confusing as to why they drafted 2 rookie quarterbacks. And then next year, I think they're projected to get multiple first-round picks as well in the quarterback draft as well. So, I don't know. I'm just glad that he got signed. He got drafted. Hopefully, he makes the best of it, and he actually proves a lot of people wrong. I also saw that his brother Shiloh got signed as an undrafted free agent by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, shout out to Shiloh as well. So.
I know as KU guys were kind of upset Devin Neal lands in New Orleans, but our 7th round pick is the running back that we're going to hedge our bets on later. We'll talk about him at the time. But what do you think about Mello Dotson being undrafted to the Raiders, and yet the guy we think is better, Kobe Bryant, I don't think has been signed by anybody at this point yet.
To me, if that's the case, that's a shocker. I didn't know that Mello Dotson got signed by the Raiders. If anything, Kobe Bryant, it could be character issues. It could be how he did in interviews I performed. Obviously, Kobe Bryant is the better DB in my opinion. Just watching the Jayhawks play since he got there. He's a better corner. But Mello Dotson's he's a baller too. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't know that. I'm hoping somebody picks him up. I wouldn't be. I'm somebody get Brett Veach on the phone. Go get him.
True, but maybe we already maxed out our Paul Linky Ball Hawken cornerbacks with the last selection from Friday night stream. But you can never have too many of those. But it is what it is. Any other players of note you want to talk about that did not land in Kansas City before we kind of list the ones that did?
No, not really. No, not really. Honestly.
All right, so let's go ahead and start breaking down the Chiefs selection for this Saturday afternoon's day of the draft. So the Chiefs had pick 133 in the fourth round, and they took a guy a lot of people were high on. I don't know if you were one of them, but Jalen Royals out of Utah State, wide receiver. A lot of people had him as a mock draft in that third or fourth round spot, and he was very productive in college. So, do you have any thoughts about that choice?
I like that pick. I'm surprised that he was still on the board in the fourth round. But I like what he can do. To me, from what I've seen when I watch some type of footage of him, it looks like he can do some of the things that Rashid Rice can do. He kind of looks like another Rashid Rice. So yeah, I like this pickup. He's got he won't be needed immediately. But I mean, he's explosive. I do like him though. I do like that pickup. He's one of my favorite throughout this draft. He's probably one of my favorites that Brett Veach picked up.
Where do you think he slots in the wide receiver room in terms of number? You think he's 4, 5? Where are you slotting him?
Yeah, he's definitely probably 6 or 5. He's probably going to battle with that Juju Smith-Schuster. He's going to battle with Juju because obviously Juju is going to be our number 5 because you got Worthy, Rice, Hollywood Brown, Juju. He'd probably be the 5. Probably the 5th wide receiver.
I don't know if I ever put Juju that high up in the rotation. Like, I know he will get snaps, but if you're asking me, like, who are the wide receivers that are going to have, production in this offense, you don't say Juju anymore. He's going to be the one that blocks and takes up the spot, but then he may get injured for another week or two. And
that's the thing that I'm worried about with this offense as far as receivers go, man. You got Rashid Rice coming back from an injury. Hollywood Brown missed a big chunk of last year. Juju Smith is older with his knees. Travis Kelce's older. You got Sky Moore. You got Remigio. Yeah, man. I don't know. I was hoping that we went and got another wide receiver as on top of Jalen Royals, but yeah, I'm a little nervous going into this season at the wide receiver room.
I understand that, but I think this offense is maybe assuming 7 wide receivers to make the active roster, and they're just going to pick the 5 or so that are good and dependable. So that's why.
I can't hear you no more, Clint. I can't now.
All right. I don't know when I cut out, but certain amount of number in the wide receiver room. I don't think we're going to reach that number again. We're not going to have that many. So, whether or not Royals sticks into one of those starting spots, but before I would say absolutely no. But the fact that the last 2 seasons now, our wide receivers have contributed highly in their rookie season. Maybe the Chiefs have kind of switched their focus now, and they get weapons that can contribute right away.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he developed pretty fast and he's a key contributor towards the end of the season. Like I said, he's one of my favorite draft picks that Brett Veach got this year.
I agree, and I think he's kind of more of the flashy ones. Every other player, you can't really predict what their production is going to be, and I think he flashed a little more in college that like wide receivers / running backs are the type of positions that can excel in the NFL right away, right out of college.
I just seen that they just signed Elijah Badger.
Yes, there. We'll probably another time we'll try to keep up with all the
UFAs.
Yeah, because half the time they're either going to be the star of the team or do absolutely nothing. That's why like draft picks get hyped up a little more, but at times the undrafted ones can be the superior selection in the end. So, do you have any other thoughts around him about
Royal? No.
Okay.
No.
So then we go to the 5th round, and the Chiefs trade up a little bit and take Jeffrey Bassa, the linebacker out of Oregon. What are your takes on that selection?
I looked up some of his combine numbers and stuff, and then I also watched a little bit of film on him. He hits the hole pretty good, and he reminds me of Bosa a little. He's just a smaller Bosa, but he does hit though, and he can be used in coverage as well. They kind of have the same speed. I think they both ran a 4.6. Like I said, their combine numbers pretty identical almost. So learning behind Nick Bolton is going to be good for him. Just a dead piece. I'm pretty sure Spags will get him out there. They said he's very vocal and he's very smart. So future Mike Man, green dot. I don't know. We'll see. I like this pickup as well.
Yeah, and it seems like he's a Leo Chenal type linebacker as well. And the Chiefs were really liking the athletic linebackers. And Nick Bolton's still the hybrid of the two. He's not quite as old school linebacker and not as athletic as the new school linebackers are. But Drew Tranquil and Leo Chenal are those other exceptions to that. And hopefully Bassa can reach in that category.
He's got some
sure
good film, man.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know where he'll kind of slot in. But Spags has a tendency of rotating some rookies in at times when they shine. Right. So do you think that he will potentially see playing time, or maybe just special teams or a practice squad stash?
He'll definitely. I'm sure he'll definitely see special teams for sure. But like I said, he's very smart on the field and he's very vocal. So, and he can be used. They can drop him in coverage, but he might get some playing time maybe later on in the year. I could see it.
Yeah, playing big time college. Hopefully, he can kind of translate that athleticism the way that Leo Chenal has in his kind of short bursts that he's seen.
Yeah, Leo's one of my favorites on defense.
That's right. The Chiefs on defense are really looking for sure tacklers, and the selection is one of those as well. A highly ranked linebacker out of this class. So we're hoping most of our draft picks can kind of overachieve, and hopefully he lines up with that sentiment as well. Had to kind of trade up for this pick, but the Chiefs did not do anything in the 6th round. And then with the 2 selections they had at the bottom of the 7th, trade up and select running back Rashard Smith out of SMU, who is known as a receiving tailback and had all these all-purpose yards and punt return yards and all that, and special teams guy through and through. So, what are your thoughts about that move?
He's definitely going to be a return. He's going to be a return specialist, in my opinion. He's got good hands. Obviously, being a former wide receiver, they could possibly use him like they used Jerick McKinnon. He's a good pass catching back. I like this. I like this pick as well. But yeah, if him sitting there at number 7, yeah, it's kind of crazy to me. But yeah, I do like the Brashad Smith pickup. I think he ran a 4.39 40, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
so
Jalen Rollins before that ran a 4.42. So even if we're not getting the 40-yard dash record breakers, then we're getting guys that are fast, no matter where the position you play. So
yeah, he's 5'10", 194 pounds. He ran a 4.39. Had almost 2,000 all-purpose yards last season at SMU.
like this is the perfect type of running back. Now we just have to see his running style. Like you and I were hyping up Devin Neal as much because he's kind of a bruising running back that it doesn't look like it takes effort to run the ball like Devin Neal runs. So if you can run in that style and also catch a bunch of passes out of the backfield, then we're in good shape. That's an Andy Reid running back, and you can be a star as a 7th round pick. You can get a second contract here. So that could be could be big on offense, or it could just be it's a playoff game or down a couple points in a big time game and he's a kick return for a touchdown. So
yep,
that's the type of impact you need, and on the 7th round you're willing to do that. So
yeah, I definitely like that pickup for sure.
Yeah, and there were 4 rounds today, and the Chiefs only chose to select 3 total players, whereas last night they also had 3 selections. So those players kind of were a notch above all those, except for we could argue Jalen Royals maybe should have been talked about Friday night instead.
Yes,
But the Chiefs were fortunate to continue to sit at their position in the 4th round and select him anyway. But what more do we say about the 4th round or the 6th round or 7th round pick? They'll serve their purpose, but maybe Jalen Royals can be a star, but he's not slotted to be. Just like Josh Simmons is set to be really good, but for right now he's not slotted to be. That's kind of the beauty or the curse of a Chiefs draft pick is you don't have expectations placed on you. You usually have someone that is a veteran that is kind of expected to play in front of you unless you really prove yourself and stand out to deserve that starting spot as a rookie. But for the most part, the team is set up to give the starting spot to a veteran. But there's a couple guys, especially for last night, that we feel like could possibly be starting right away. I'm not sure if we would give that same notch to any of the draft picks today, but that's not necessarily what the point is for the draft picks on day 3. Those are the guys that may do that or may need an extra year or two to get acclimated to the NFL and then get the production out of them then. So
Yeah, I agree. I don't expect any of these guys to and be an impact immediately. Maybe Brashad Smith if he's returning kicks. Maybe. And maybe Jalen Royals. He's going to be a fan favorite with his name in general. You get the Royals and the Chiefs cross as far as jerseys go. So
yeah,
that's what I was hearing already. People are going to be lined up to get Jalen Royals jerseys. So
now you just need the baseball team to find a chief as a player.
Yeah.
But any other thoughts about the 3 draft choices the Chiefs made today? And
no, not really. Like I said, man, I like all 3 picks. To me, I like these picks more than the number 2 pick. It's a round 2 pick. So, and possibly the 3rd pick too.
all right,
That's just me.
So you don't think Norman Lott's going to be as big of an impact as I think he will?
No, he's going to be a rotational defensive tackle behind Jerry Tillery and Mike Pennell. So he didn't play a lot when he was in college. He didn't have a lot of snaps then. And to me, they're reaching off on potential. They're basing it off of potential. So yeah, I'm with as a round 2 pick. Yeah, I don't know about that one. That's the one I'm not really sold on. That's probably my least favorite draft pick as a Chief fan.
For me, that might be one of the sneaky ones I like because at this point in time, you didn't really know who the DT2 was that was going to get majority of the snaps, and I think maybe he doesn't in this season, but he really excelled when he was kind of getting the one-on-one.
So
All right. That's what the grind of 3 days of doing live. Yes. Your equipment works or doesn't work, and it won't tell you. And everybody else just has to let you know. Oh, well, doesn't matter. I think Lott's going to do a lot better than we give him credit for. I think Chris Jones getting double teams is going to allow this guy to get several sacks or tackles for loss. It's set up for other guys because Spags will allow you to win up the middle. And most of this pressure comes up from the middle. So that's why I think he could excel because it allows Chris Jones to eat up those double teams and, the heat goes off Chris Jones and not needing to get the sacks if somebody else can clean up the pressure that's being generated on his behalf for him. So, and I think I like that pick more than I do the 3rd round pick because that's like a George Karlaftis type move, and that's also a boomer bust. And I feel like we have more players at defensive end that we trust, or at least we're going to throw out there number wise than defensive tackles because Mike Pennell is not getting starting defensive tackle reps for the Chiefs. He's going to be like off the bench type scenario where his play style fits best. And I don't know if Jerry Tillery has proven himself to be a starting defensive lineman anymore, or at least at this point in time. So that's why I think it also could be Lott's job to lose at this point if he does show himself to be competent in training camp.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just I just don't think that he's gonna have that much of an impact.
That's fair. So any of the UDFAs that have trickled in over the last bit that you want to spotlight for the next couple minutes before we end this very quick, brief reactions video?
No, I do like Noah Williams. I do like him as a ball hawking DB. I'm a fan of ball hawking DBs, man, that likes to get interceptions.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of those. So, I think he will be out there. He's here to possibly replace Joshua Williams. Or I mean, because I think Jamar Connor's going to go back to the outside instead of being on the inside. So I think Connor and McDuffie are flip flop, and then Noah Williams. I think Noah Williams could be a problem. I think this one's this was my sleeper one. Like honestly, like Jalen Royals is one of my favorites, but yeah,
I think the draft looks a lot better if you take the Williams and the Royals pick and you just swap the order. Like if you said Royals was picked in the 3rd round and Williams was picked in the 4th round, I think that would maybe look a little better on paper. But the Chiefs are willing to trade up or take a player that's around sooner if they really think he fits in and they think highly of the player enough to contribute early on. So that's like the Rashee Rice approach. You're going to trade up maybe even a round earlier because you just want the player and the fit.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for Noah, man. Noah Williams. I don't know. He might be my favorite. I know I was raving about it. I like Jalen Royals, man. But yeah, man, I like ball hawking DBs, man. They get interceptions, man, and yeah, he can hit too. So, to me, I like round 3 through 7. I like them. I like all those picks. I'm not a fan of the first 2.
But why aren't you a fan of Josh Simmons? Because he's not going to do anything right now.
He's not going to do anything right now. But then I get it that I get the plan of what they possibly plan to do. If he does good, if he comes in and Jalen Moore does good at left tackle, then they will possibly put Josh Simmons at right tackle, which will eventually replace Juan Taylor. But if Jalen Moore struggles, then Josh Simmons will be and then he'll get put in and he'll get tested at left tackle. But I get why they did it, but man, I'm one of those people, man. We got Jalen Moore. Go get a skilled player, but I mean, with us getting Jalen Royals and me also liking Rashad Smith, yeah, I did want another skill player to be impactful this upcoming season. I don't know. I'm not with how injury prone our offensive weapons can be. We're injury away from being pretty thin at skill at the wide receiver position. But as far as Josh Simmons go again, he might eventually be right tackle because he did play right tackle and left tackle in college. So,
all right, I get that. Hey, Dale, welcome in. If you want to go ahead and give us your thoughts about the draft picks the Chiefs made today, we'd love to hear it.
All right, look,
Daily Dale, what's popping?
What's up? I'm gonna be quick. You know, I got stuff going. Hey, look, We just took a loss today when our baseball game, man. We acting like the real Royals. So let me just say that real quick. Like, it's crazy. But no, nah. But look, the picks today, bro, I've messed with them. Like, I think overall, when you hear like a lot of reactions from across the league, across the media, I think people are satisfied. I know Dre, like you said, you wanted that first round pick, like, weapon with us already having Jalen Moore, but it looks like you came around a little bit. I think we all knew, like, we can't be mad at like the offense line, right? Like, we try to protect the future, but at the same time, we we want a more clear direction. Like, hey, we thinking what you going to go get Jalen Moore, as free agent. Like, all right, we don't want to do that. But with the picks today, I like Brashard Smith. I like him. I think he's gonna be an overall all around weapon. He did the backwards Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, he was a wide receiver. It then became a running back. So we'll see how that go. And then he could be a punt returner as well too. Who else? Well, some other day 3 picks that we got that
Oregon linebacker.
Oregon linebacker. Like, I mean, I'm hearing he's what is he athletic? Pretty good. I gotta sit with some film at him. Like, okay, so that's gonna fill in the linebacker room. We need some more bodies because it looks like we're not gonna get it Willie Gay, right? And people getting tired of Christensen. So
he's still slow. He's slow like Bolton though. They both run 4.6.
He's slow.
They both run 4.6.
Okay. They can't be on the field at the same time. We can't have that happen. But we can figure it out. We can figure it out. All right. And then.
Well, he is good. He is good when dropping in coverage though. He's pretty good at that.
Oh, okay. Got you.
So yeah.
Bet. But yeah, I think overall they was all good, bro. I think they'll be able to come in and do what needs to be done. We off to camp now, and they'll figure it out. But hey, I just had to come in and say that real quick. That's my thoughts. Y'all get more of my thoughts later on though. We'll come back with it. But I think overall they impressed some people in day 3.
For sure.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Thanks for hopping in, Dale, and everybody check out his Arrowhead alerts though coming out in the next couple days about the Chiefs draft picks that just happened over the last few days. You already saw the Josh Simmons one, which which Dre had already said is not one of his favorites. I'm between Josh Simmons being one of my favorites just because it may solve a left tackle or right tackle or just tackle problem the Chiefs may have later. And also the defensive tackle that may get to eat because of Chris Jones, but Dre is not a fan of that one. But Dre, it sounded like the Royals pick maybe your favorite or maybe even the Noah Williams. I forgot to follow up. I forgot to follow up on your Noah Williams. Do you think he's going to be contributing on defense much at all in his rookie year, or you think he's going to mostly be on special teams
I think he'll be special teams, but I think they'll bring him along like we did Jaden Hicks as a safety later on in the season. So Jaden Hicks he's probably my favorite DB behind McDuffie. I'm a fan of Brian Cook as well, but Brian Cook has to have a better season this year. He basically took a back step last year compared to his year before he got hurt, before he broke his ankle. So, but yeah, I think Noah Williams will eventually get out there and be impactful because he's a ball hawker just like Jaden Hicks. Just put Noah Williams back there and Jaden Hicks out there on the field at the same time. Oh, Pick City, man. I love it.
Awesome. Well, just like with every draft pick, we hope that they're, home runs and players that make the Chiefs even better, like almost every other draft class the last couple of years spent for the Chiefs. But that is our show. The shows got shorter and shorter as the weekend happened, but you'll get a lot more of us throughout this off season. We are going to be taking a 1 week break to kind of take a mental and physical break from the grind of the draft season, kind of redigest the players that we did like that aren't on the team, and reassess the Chiefs roster. And Blank and the schedule release comes out pretty soon as well. So you're not going to be starving from content from all of us here at Red Kingdom Media. We're just going to be stepping away for a little bit. but we're hoping to be able to come back from that even stronger and with more content for you guys than ever before. So, Dre, what was an eventful 3 nights of streaming for the people? You have any final thoughts you want to leave them with?
Nah, man. Just keep supporting. Like and subscribe. Hit that bell, man. That notification bell, man, on all platforms, man. And keep doing what y'all doing, man. In Chiefs Kingdom, I can't wait for the season to start.
Thank you for plugging it. I don't even have to play the video. That's good enough for me. And this episode is good enough for all of us here, and hopefully was for all you guys watching. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Blink and it's already Monday, but that's the grind of the NFL season. And even though it's not the in season, it's the off season. But Gridiron Gambit, we never stop working. So thank you all for watching, listening after the fact. And as always, go Chiefs.
Thanks for checking out this update straight from the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. We appreciate your passion, so please leave a like and follow us wherever you tune in from. See you next tailgate, your trusted source for all things Chiefs, Red Kingdom Media.